Got 10 seconds remaining. Looks like it's going to be a draw. Looks like it's heading for a draw. Maguire down the line. No! Oh!
Hi, folks, and welcome to the Lot Pod. Strap yourselves in. It's now time for another match review panel.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17A podcast, kindly sponsored by ACDMB, who are a branding and creative design agency based in Farsley, Leeds. They create standout brands, so if anyone out there needs a brand refresh, a new logo, just get in touch with ACDMB. As always, we'd love to thank them for sponsoring us. They're awesome. They're amazing. Did a great job on the fanzine. Anyone that's bought that can kind of see the quality of their work. So anyone that needs any kind of graphic design work, just get in touch with ACDMB. This is the match review panel for the grand final eliminator, Wigan versus Leeds. Of course, joining me for this is Statman Reese.
Stat.
Freeze.
It's a Hill I'll Die on Reese, the best intro anyone's ever had.
And we're not just saying that because our guest made that.
Of course. I didn't quite put the two and two together there. Of course. Reese, they called us deluded. They called us.
we called ourselves delusional.
Called ourselves deluded. They called us stupid idiots. We called ourselves stupid idiots. And look at us now. Who'd have thought this? Oh, that's right. Us. Bring in our guest. Who we've got joining us today?
We've got our good friend Josh. Hi, Josh. How are you?
Yes, lads, we did it.
We did it. Josh from Kimber is with us. How are you, mate?
Buzzing, man. I mean, last time I was on here, we were scraping
We
the
were
barrel
shit.
for positives.
Wasn't it Catalan at home, that god awful cold night back in
It just
March?
blurred. Yeah, it was. It absolutely freezing night. I mean, what have we done? It's absolutely incredible, isn't it? In Rowan, we trust.
Look at us now. Just look at us now. This pod is just a beamer. It's just because it's one of those where, similar to like last, the Catalan one, where we'll kind of speak and someone will say, "Oh, what about Bodie Thompson?" And we'll all go, "Yep, he were ace, he were brilliant." And someone will say, "What about Jared?" "Yep, he were ace." So, and this podcast, I think, is just especially. I think 99% of our listeners are Leeds fans, but this is definitely a Leeds fan only pod this
I'm
time.
only laughing because Andrew's calling us the prophets.
You are the prophet.
Oh God, I don't know about you two, but I've literally not stopped beaming ear to ear since.
No.
Like, I've just been smiling all day, smiling all night. I didn't get to sleep. I couldn't sleep about 2:30.
Oh, mate.
Not because I was partying. I was buzzing. I couldn't stop watching the highlights. I watched the second half 3 times after the game. Delusion doesn't exist anymore. It was reality. It was actually reality.
Factual.
And even when your Lord and Saviour, Lottie, says Danny Maguire, where's my bell? Still counts if I say it. When he says that it's the greatest victory in Leeds Rhinos history.
Did you see Rowan's reaction to that?
Yeah.
He were... Oh, wait, to be fair, that's the point that I nearly went as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
He nearly in tears, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been here 4 months. 4
So
months.
It's flown by, hasn't it?
Yeah. I watched it in a pub where there were karaoke on, so I didn't hear any commentary or see or hear anything after the games. It wasn't until I got home that I saw, like Rowan and things, and I was so chuffed for him. Like, because how much it meant to him. I thought, this guy has been here for 4 months, and the things that he's done to us in 4 months are just, they're incredible. And I felt that with him, his words and what he said at the end there, it means more to him than I could ever imagine. I was so pleased for him. And like Reece says, you go through the motions in these games. I don't care what anyone says. I'm a highly emotional person anyway, but just watching him there, I'm not even afraid to admit it. I did get a lump in my throat listening to him, and because of his manner in press conferences, which we love. You know, we love his, like, you know, straight and kind of says everything as it is. But with him showing some emotion himself, I just thought, Jesus Christ, he's been here for 4 months, and he's just. We always come on this platform on Twitter and things and say we are all in on this guy. Everyone's like, we are all in, but he's all in on us, I think, now.
Well, you think about the players. You know, obviously it costs them a lot to play, like the sacrifice they make physically, what have you. But for him, that moment when he rang his family, straight as the buzzer went, and then they asked him afterwards, he said he's got a baby at home. Can you imagine leaving your baby for 4 months? That is a sacrifice. He is all in on this. And he is absolute, you know, this is the reward for someone who's just, you know, opposite side of the world, fully committed. It's just incredible. Like, I'd not really seen that side to him. I don't know about you two. But when he rang up, you know, you could see him on the top of the, you know, in the boxes where they sit or whatever, ringing his wife, and he just said his family being such a big part of his, this with him. He wanted to share it with them straight away. I just thought that's just mint, you know. And then to come straight down, and he had a lump in his throat. Then he was he was very teary, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was just mint.
Even prior to the interview starting, he looked emotional, didn't he? And I saw it on Twitter saying, a couple of people going, "Oh, Rowan, please don't do this to me." And I'm going, "Oh God!" And then I went on and it came up on my screen, and I was just like, "Yeah." But it's how, to be honest, it's how I felt.
Exactly. He's bought into us.
I have to think, and I was thinking about this all day today, about previous getting to grand finals. And I think Danny Maguire probably did get it right.
The bell, Reece.
Sorry, I think I got more of the table then than the bell. I think he got it right. I think it potentially could be one of the best wins in Leeds Rhinos history. When you take the whole season into context, that the start of the season being second from bottom, to him winning 13 in 18, 13 wins in 18. We've won the last 9 out of 10 games, and the only game we lost, I can't remember which game we lost now. Doesn't care. I don't care now.
Catalan, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Catalan, when we had a depleted team.
Who cares?
Yeah. Who cares? I felt exactly how Rowan felt last night. I felt that, and then when he started speaking, then that was it. I was going as well.
In terms of it being the best win, I think it was maybe something I said to you, Reece, last night. I feel like in the past, our teams, even when depleted, we've had a superstar that can just get us out of a tough situation. So if you think back to that first half when we're just defending, it's, you know, you had like a Callum Watkins or a Zach Hardaker of the past, or a Ryan Hall, or just someone with a bit of magic who can just break the line, get you 10, 15 yards, do something special. But with this depleted team, and I mean, to be honest, I don't think this squad is as good as what we've had in the past. But we've just done it on pure effort and attitude. And I think that's what Rowan's brought, the togetherness, brought that back. And if you consider that, I think everyone played well as a team. I don't really think that there was like a superstar sort of world-class performance from one individual. Just everybody played the best that they could play. And that's what got us out of it. And if you think of it like that, that is an incredible win. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's why Danny said, well, Danny is the best player that's ever played the game. So when the best player that's ever played the game, who has dominated grand finals many, many times, says that this Leeds win is the best ever, then it must be. How can anyone disagree with that?
Well, we'll have to ask him on Thursday and why he's, what made him bring that statement, because it's not a small statement to make, considering that individual that said it had 6-7 grand final victories to his name? 8? Sorry,
8.
how many? 8?
8.
For him to say that really puts the result into context.
It's true then, isn't it?
It's true.
It has to be.
And as Gary said in the comments, we have the momentum. We've been playing playoff rugby probably since round 22. Probably since that Wigan game at Headingley, we've been probably playing playoff rugby.
I do think that Wigan game was the game where everyone really stood up and took notice of Rowan Smith. They were like, Jesus Christ, this is... Do you agree with that, Josh? This guy's could be creating something special.
Definitely. You could kind of just feel the atmosphere among the fan base as well, I think. It's kind of... it really reminds me of... I think it was 2011 when Carly Luluai said... I think we'd had a terrible start then and we went on the run, got to 5th, and then obviously we won it from 5th. And Carly Luluai said, these games leading into the playoffs have battle-hardened us. And we're resilient, and not having a week off has been to our benefit. Because although they've got not a lot left in the tank, he was sort of saying, we're used to just finding a way to win. And it reminded me of one of Rowan's early wins, or maybe his second or third win. He started talking about we need to find ways to win, different ways to win. And I just thought that's such a really, I don't know, it seems obvious when you say it out loud, but I've not really thought of it like that. And you think of, all these clubs with different styles of play. We've won hostile environment in Catalans. We've won last minute, 28 points down or whatever it was and coming back. We've won arm wrestle games. We've blown teams away. We've played with flair. We've played with, that last game of the season against Castleford was terrible, but we found a way to win that. And then straight afterwards, they were in the huddle at the Carnegie end, and Reece was shouting something to him, and I just thought they've got that momentum again. They've battle hard and they've got that attitude, and I just thought that is exactly. It doesn't really matter how you win. It's that attitude, that spirit, that resilience, which is what takes you to a grand final. And it just reminded me of what Rowan said, what Kylie Luluai said, all these things coming together. I just thought it was absolutely mint. And I felt confident ever since that game after Castleford. Even though that was a terrible game, I just thought it's like history repeating itself.
Well,
it's happening again.
2012, we beat Catalan away, we beat Wigan away. The only difference is we're playing a different foe, but a foe that we've had a good record against. But I think we could talk about admiration for Rowan on and on and on, but we are meant to start with our positives. I can't think of a negative, but I feel like this is just. I haven't had many people to talk to about this yet, apart from my dad and then Twitter. So there's going to be a lot coming out of me in the next hour. But positives, if you're going to pick one or 17.
Jared O'Connor again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I know I know I said it like in the intro, the start of the pod. Like it'll be one of those where you'll just say Aidan Caesar, yeah, James Bentley, for Christ's sake, yeah, and everyone that you mentioned will all nod and go, yeah, they were brilliant. But for me, there were one just to go back to back because Jared was man of the match out in Catalan. Did he get it? No, he didn't. Did he?
No, sorry, that was
I had an interview with Tez where he said, I can't remember what it was on. Oh, it was on Eddie and Steve have got a podcast now, and it was on that. And he said there's been a couple of times when he's been commentating, and he think they've all said that Jared should have got man of the match, but they've not given it because of that conflict of, parent son.
Well, John Wells gave it, didn't he, last night?
Yeah,
last night.
I can't remember who got it at Catalan. If someone in the comments can remember who got it at Catalan, I want to say
it wasn't Jared. I remember it.
Oh, it'd be Sutty because he got the hat trick.
Hat trick. Yeah, even regardless of Sutty getting the hat trick, I still think Jared was the man of the match in Catalan as well. So for me, he's gone back to back in 2 massive games as a youngster, still a young kid, and man of the match again for me yesterday. I thought it was awesome, and I saw a comment. I think it was Martin Sadler, one of these. Everyone knows I'm not a rugby league journalist fan, but he kind of said something on Twitter where he said the decisive moment in the game was when Bateman got sent off. I completely
disagree.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I always disagree with everything that comes out of that man's mouth anyway, but I 100% disagree with that because when we're winning by 12 points,
we'd score the 2 tries back to back. Bear in mind, we had 2 attacking sets in that second half at the beginning of the second half, and we scored off both.
The only thing that Bateman getting sent off confirmed was we're just going to score more to win. To me,
yeah, it was like sit it out. I won it. It won. I didn't think it was a game changer whatsoever.
I don't.
No.
Not all.
The game changer was Bentley's tackle on Tommy Luluai, because that set the stall out for the second half. That was an incredible tackle, well timed. Ball comes loose, and obviously we ended up scoring at the end of that set. But the game changer was Bentley in that tackle in that second half. It was 14-4 when Bateman got sent off. So yeah, it wasn't
14-4 and 60 something minute, wasn't it?
But Jared, 50 something, I can't remember. But Jared had the second highest tackle count of the game. He had the 3rd highest meters, and it was his first try ever for Leeds. Because we spoke to him here, didn't he? He's like, I've not scored a try yet. So he's got his try. But how do you start Leeming, our captain, over him at the moment?
You can't.
You can't, can you?
Impossible.
And when do we stop saying?
I said Leeming should be starting ahead because I don't think we need that more physical presence. I ate my words massively, especially with that first half where we had to defend. There's no way you push Leeming up ahead of O'Connor in that position. No.
Can't else chance.
And that's a testament to O'Connor to say that he's pushing out his own captain.
Yeah.
What are you going to say, Josh?
When do we stop saying that O'Connor's not a hooker?
When Matthew Shaw starts agreeing with it.
I actually think O'Connor's been the best hooker at the club for about the last 10 games or something.
His progression's been
absolutely
immense.
Brilliant. And that did you see my tweet about Matt Short? Yes. Couldn't be any better, could it? He just loves to fuel his tweets with a bit of "I'm right, you're wrong."
A bit. That's his whole angle.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about him. I don't want to get on my horse.
Other positives is the man with the mustache that is James Bentley. What a hero. What a game. Game he had.
I'm deeply in love with James Bentley.
Yeah.
Deeply.
I quite enjoyed my tweet on Friday. It's Friday and I'm in love. But he was obviously he's got his 2 tries, but that tackle on Tommy Luluai set the stall out for the second half.
He's another one again. Sorry, Reese. He's another one that has gone back to back. In Catalan, he was a monster.
Yeah.
He was an absolute monster. And it's just backed it up again, don't you think, Josh? And just gone, right, this is me. This is my level. No one's going to knock me off this perch.
I think, he is the signing that we wanted him to be now. I remember talking about him at the start of the year. And we were saying we've recruited well. Bentley's, going for all these players. Bentley being one that we were really excited about. And it's just all them bans. I don't know. That's got to be an attitude thing, don't you think? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but Rowan, he's had 1 ban under Rowan, hasn't he, at the start? Yeah. And now he's strung these run of games together. He's absolutely outstanding. There was didn't he send he wound Bateman up last night, didn't he? And it just reminded me of that. Last year he did it with Saints, didn't he? He got under Bateman's skin.
When he choke slammed him.
I think for Bentley now, he's got the opportunity to get one over Saints.
Yes, he will.
But
he's gonna.
Again, they're going to target him. But I've got confidence in him now. When we played Saints during the season, I was a bit worried that Saints will target him. They'll know how to wind him up and they'll get to him. Whereas now I'm like, yeah.
He was still composed against Catalan, wasn't he?
And even last night as well. But he also made an incredible intervention at defence on our own goal line. The ball bounced back up, I think, went in the air, and I think it got batted back. and it was about to go into the hands of a Wigan player, and Bentley literally charged and whacked it out. And it was just things like that. He was just absolutely immense. He was absolutely everywhere.
I love him. I'm deeply in love with him.
Deeply in love. I can't remember what came first. Did the mustache come first, or did Rowan Smith come first? Because I feel like hand in hand, this is why we're seeing the Bentley we have. One, the mustache, and two, Rowan Smith.
Just, he's
been growing it since his last ban.
Yeah, it must be. These things are a coincidence. They're just not. Zane Tetevano is like the worst player that's ever worn blue and amber. Grows a mullet and a tash, picks up loads of form. Blake Austin grows a goatee, becomes a new man, and then Bentley grows a tash, and then he's awesome. It's not a coincidence.
Yeah. And Andrew's saying, dare we mention, of course we do. Tetevano has been that ban against Saints early this season. For me, he wrote himself off in the Leeds Rhinos shirt. I never wanted to see him again after that. It was a horrendous tackle he did on Conrad Harrell, and it was no need to do it. I think I remember after his first couple of appearances when he came back, I thought, wow, he's playing well. Do you reckon it'll flip my opinion? He went, it'll take a lot. I think he's flipped it. He was brilliant again. He made one amazing goal line tackle at one point, and his carry
went on single
set up the Jared O'Connor try. He contained field and a couple of people in that carry. It was brilliant. He was awesome. 1 to 17. We could literally do this from every team member in that squad last night. Every single one of them. We could go through and just wax lyrical about them. But we don't have all evening.
No, we don't.
No. Anyone else, Josh, that needs highlighting? I mean, we've said O'Connor, we've said Bentley.
Yeah, them were the two I thought that were the biggest standouts. But I thought someone who maybe didn't shine, but I think was one of his better games for me was Tyndall. A little pet hate of mine with Tyndall is that he never seems to run forward. He gets the ball, he almost runs backwards.
That's exactly what Laurie
300 metres sideways, 50 metres forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Laurie says the same, yeah.
Whereas first half, particularly, he started doing it a bit again in the second half, but first half, I was watching because when something bothers you, you sort of pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And he was just running straight. Every time he got it, he was just running straight that first half, just trying to get us out. And we were under so much pressure. And I just thought that deserves, that deserves a bit of credit there. But like you said, just everybody. I think even to be honest, I'd completely written Matt Pryor off this year. I thought just try and get him out the club.
We all have.
But these playoffs,
on my thread on the tackle count, I went. The shock was that Bentley didn't lead the tackle count, but Cam Smith took it. He got 47 tackles. I put O'Connor.
He was amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Again, O'Connor got 46, and I put sarcastic shock. Pryor got 43 tackles. An actual shock. He wasn't that great in attack, but in defence. He definitely put himself about last night.
Mm. I think it's clearly still got something left in the tank.
Yeah.
So if we can get one more game out of him at that standard next Saturday.
So someone I want to highlight as well was Bodine Thompson. When he came on at 30 minutes, again, we're probably going to do it now. We're probably just going to go 1 to 17. But Bodie, when he came on the half-hour mark, we'd been defending for half an hour, I think it was. And prior to that point, I think at half-time, they put the stat out that we only had 10 plays in their half. When Bodie came on, I think we'd had one, and then Brusco got put out to touch. At the start of the game. So when Bodine came on, what I distinctly remember him doing is he took, I think, the second and the fourth carry in that set when he came on. And I think he made 14 carries, which was quite high in the day in terms of other people. So he really put himself about just to change the pace. Which player are we doing next?
I thought, just to finish on
Cam was brilliant.
I was going to say, I think he was great anyway, just doing what he does. But when Caesar went off, I thought he stepped up. And it's just really useful having a ball player in it at 13.
It works really well on this side, doesn't it? Because then that spine of your hooker, your loose, and your two halves, like in the way that we play. I just love this, guys. Can you remember, literally March, us three were reviewing that god-awful game at Catalan.
Because now,
where we did a positive, and the positive was
Jesus Christ, those positives back in February, March.
We couldn't even do them.
It become painful doing the pod, didn't it? We're just like, what a positive. I've got it written down here. I'm going to ask these people for a fucking positive from that. How can anyone pull a positive from that? It would diabolical. You might have seen the clip that I put of Laurie, because he said on the Wigan review from February that if we win the grand final, he's going to get a Chris Kendall tattoo. So I've been rummaging through all the podcasts trying to find it. Anyway, I was listening to that like bit by bit from that Wigan review from February. And Jesus Christ, some of the stuff we're talking about, I'm just like, oh my God, why are we even talking about this? It was diabolical. Look at us now. Yeah. Falling over everybody. I think Cam Smith, I said this last week I might be the week before, about players that are so key, if they were to be injured or move on. And I kind of said Aledzki, If Aledzki's gone, for want of a better word, we are effed because he's so key. And we kind of said last week that if Harry Newman's injured, we've got others that can kind of drop and slot in. And Harry's the best player in the league for me, but, there are players who can cover him. If Aledzki's injured for me, I'm just like, cannot replace that. Not in this team. You cannot replace that at all. I get the feeling now, I don't know about how you chaps feel, but I'm on the same page now with Cam.
Yeah. There's I remember
vital.
You boys were saying just before Rowan came, Smith's got all the potential, always has done, but he was just a bit too cautious approaching the line. I need to dig in a bit more. And then that right at the very start when Rowan got the job on the Craig Harrison's podcast, he said he'd been speaking to Rowan, and the first thing he wants to change is run first. That was his little saying to everybody: run first. And I think Smith is probably the person who you can see that benefit from more out of anybody,
more than anyone else. Yeah,
and just run first. And I think it's such a simple message, and those simple messages. Like I remember when Justin Holbrook took over Saints, all the Saints players were saying he just gave a really simple message, and it just simplified everything. Everything just became a lot clearer. And look what they've done recently. But I think Rowan, it's a sign of a good coach, isn't it? Being able to deliver your message clearly and simply,
and quickly.
Yeah. And that I do think Cam's been one of the biggest beneficiaries from that little, run first. I think it's just taking his game to the next level. And like you say, he is absolutely vital to the way that we play now.
Do you feel that way as well, Josh? That if for instance, if Cam's not playing in a game, do you feel we've no one to replace him?
Yeah. Well,
I think I agree.
Unless maybe
absolutely critical.
Maybe if the only person would be if O'Connor was to play 13 now. Now he's had a bit of time at 9. I don't know, but you wouldn't want it. You wouldn't want anyone there but him unless there was an injury. I saw a few people trying to predict the squad for the game just gone, having Smith on the bench, and I thought, nah, just get him. He needs to be out there.
I think people just specifically do that to wind up Duncan. Because it drives him fucking mental.
As soon as someone does it, it comes up in our group chat like immediately. Someone's put Cam Smith on the bench again.
Why do people not know anything about rugby league?
He was instrumental. He was Zach Hardacre. Do you know only one player made 100 meters or more?
Zach.
Well, we spent the whole first half not making any meters, really, didn't we?
Exactly.
No, we didn't. That's true.
It's the second most tackles we've had to make during Rowan Smith's era.
What was the most?
Talk about something else for a couple of minutes.
I would have thought that would have been the most. Huge effort, though.
Yeah, it was massive. And have you got it?
No, hang on, keep filling.
I think kicking for 2 was a big moment just before half time.
Did you see Jared, by the way? It looked like he wanted to go again up ball, didn't he? He had it and he's going, what, we're going for 2? What? Yeah, that 2. It's I very rarely
psychologically.
Yeah, I'm always one who thinks, just go, keep going, you've got the momentum, go again. But That was one of the rare moments that I would go and get put.
Was it a Challenge Cup semi in 2000 and I don't know, maybe it'd been 5 or something, where Sinfield chose to run it instead of kicking for 2, and it cost us the game. Someone will be able
2003, wasn't it?
2003.
2003.
And I always think of that, and I just think in playoff rugby, just get the points where you can.
But just on a very, very similar vein, the 2015 grand final, Wigan had us on the ropes, and they took a 2, didn't they? Like in 50th minute, something like that. Matt Bowen took a 2. Me and my mates were kind of thinking, we got away one there because they really were hammering us. Is that enough time, Reese?
Yeah, I've done it now. It's fine. Toulouse, round 19.
Toulouse?
Yeah. When we played them away. That was the game where Bentley made 74 tackles.
Yeah.
Wow.
In that game.
He's a beast, isn't he?
But I thought that 2 points was really important.
It was.
Because it meant that we weren't a try away. We were only a penalty away. It meant if we got a converted try, which we did, we were ahead by 4. And then obviously we got another converted try. By the way, Zach Hardacre has not missed a kick.
No. Just carried on Reece Martin's.
Yeah.
Vein of form, hasn't he?
It just feels like everything, like even just stuff like that, it just feels like everything's just coming into line. It's just...
We called us delusional. We called ourselves delusional, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are.
Well, I always... The second half tries, there was a number of things in each try that kind of led up to the event. So in the first one, we mentioned it was Bentley's tackle on Ludovic. The second one, or was it the last one? I think I can't remember. It might be the last one when Myler made that incredible tackle on Bibby after Jai Field made a break.
Yeah.
Then Briscoe took an amazing carry out after that. And then Leeming then did a couple of runs from dummy half, which then put him on the back ropes.
What we should have done here is just done a watch along, and just
rewatched it all. Yeah,
that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
There was just I think it's what you really said earlier, Josh. It was a collective team effort. That wasn't a superstar carrying a team through. That was a collective team. There is literally in both Catalan and this game, 1 to 17, no one's put a foot wrong at all. And I'm just beaming from it. I messaged Jared O'Connor last night, and he texted me back and said, I'm just still beaming.
What a lad.
It was just smiling for me to hear, but it was just 1 to 17. Whatever this high is, I just don't want it to ever go. It was just...
Yeah. You'll be feeling like this again this time next Saturday. You'll feel better, actually. You'll feel better, Reese.
Yeah.
We'll lift it into that shithole sky next Saturday. It's going to happen.
Theatre screams.
Oh.
It's weird having so many good memories of a place which you hate, isn't it?
It's bittersweet, don't you think? It's bittersweet. I've always hated going there, but I do enjoy winning there, which we're good at. It's going to happen again next Saturday. But
speaking of going places, I don't think we can not mention the away support that went over.
Yeah. I've got it written down here, on the agenda.
You didn't have the audio one, but I couldn't even tell. There'd be a decision going, and you can hear the crowd go. I couldn't tell if it was home or away. The away support was that good, that loud. It sounded like the home support. It was absolutely mint, and you could hear us chanting. It was just meant. Well done to everyone that could make it.
That got out there.
There was one point in the first half, I think, when we had to defend 2 sets on our line, or maybe even 3, and we put them out into touch, and the roar from the north stand was ridiculous.
You could kind of see, couldn't you, from angle?
Yeah, and it was just you could feel it then. It sounds daft talking about the 18th, 19th man, but it really does make a difference. And
it massively does.
That noise is brilliant. So fair play to everyone that went across. I don't know if you've seen this one photo that Laurie put up on Loiner's View of when Bentley scored his first try. It's like Leeds United limbs. There's people 3 or 4 rows down with beers in the air and stuff. Someone messaged us saying, "What a night! What a game! They should see the state of my hotel room," or something like that.
Don't ask about that.
But the away support, there was inflatables everywhere, and it was just absolutely brilliant.
The bit at the end when they were it was Zach was kicking goals. So it must have been the last try. They were singing is it Wigan lose everywhere you go? Or something like that's what it sounded like.
Wigan get battered every week, isn't it?
Yeah. And you could just see Jack Sinfield holding kicking tee or whatever in the background. He had a right smile on his face, looking at the crowd. It was absolutely mint.
I'm just falling. I'm just still so buzzing.
What do you think to 8,000 from Wigan for a playoff game like that?
Not a surprise.
30 quid.
To be honest, sorry, I think it's more like the club's fault. I've said this for Young, probably said it a million times. The playoff games should be in your season ticket. You know, the home team should get that game in. I don't know why they don't. You know, it's one more and it's got an incentive, because if you think people might go to that game or take a mate to that game and say this is, you know, the big semi-final, they might be inclined to go to the final. And you know, it's like. But to me, you should definitely get it for free. But it's not a surprise, because for some reason, it's been a theme for years, hasn't it? Where the bigger games, like that Challenge Cup semis, no one tends to. I don't know why.
Yeah,
people just
can't imagine that. I didn't look though. Yeah.
Well, we did. We only had 5,000 at the Challenge Cup.
Sorry, I mean, yeah, but I mean for a playoff though, I think
in a bigger playoff.
Yeah. But I think that's more down to Wigan as a club's fault, really. But
Wigan's first loss at home all season. That's Leeds again. We went there last year. We beat them twice last year. Nilled them twice.
We beat them 8-0 in the playoffs last year, definitely.
We are the Wigan Slayers. We are the good guys of this league. We are the hero of this league. Don't you think? There's I was thinking about this when I was watching Saints earlier, bits of Saints and Salford earlier, and my wife was like, "Who do you want to win this?" I said, "Oh, Salford. You know, Saints are the bad guys. They're the, you know, no one wants them to win. They're awful. They're horrible, especially with the things they were doing. You know, tackles and you know, things like that." And I was thinking about the league after I'd said that to myself. I'm thinking we are the superheroes. You know, Castleford come along. Nobody wants them to get in the playoffs, so we take it down to the last game. We say, right, you've done enough, and we just grab hold of them and put the bag over their head and just smother them out and say, right, you're done. Push you away. Wigan, Catalan are the big bullies over in France, aren't they? No one likes them. Oh, don't go over there, they'll bully you. We go up, we'll say, don't worry, everybody. We've got it from here. We put the cape back on. We fly over to France. We chin them. Then we go to Wigan. Same again. Wigan, you know, what's that horrible loose forward they've got? I can't stand him. What's he called? Smithies and all them lot, you know, they're horrible. Don't worry. Leeds are going to swoop in and smack them in gob as well. Don't you think we're the heroes of the league?
Need to bring back those superhero shirts.
I'm going to prove your point even further here, Lottie, because I was speaking six again, Brian from Six Again earlier. I said, it'd be interesting if you do a poll of who do you want to win in the grand final and who do you think will win? Well, he's done the who do you want to win, and currently Leeds are winning that vote by 61.9% to 31.8%.
Is that it? I thought it'd be more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, there'll be the Cas fans voting for St. Helens, won't there?
Yeah.
But yeah, even the general public just proves that we're not delusional. It's reality. It's the
realism.
Truth.
It's realism. It's just, I genuinely believe that we are the superheroes of the league. We swoop in. we take any scenario that other teams struggle with or are scared
story.
Of. Yeah, we swoop in and say, you know, any bullies. We're like the cool kid, but we also don't allow the bullies to bully. That's Leeds Rhinos. I think that was a very satisfying crunch of the can there.
It's been a satisfying weekend so far.
Look at that. That's why I got him on the pod. You see, links like that. Do we need a man of the match for this, Jared?
Yeah,
Jared or Bentley probably, but
it'll have to be Jared because he's been on the podcast, Josh. So
yeah,
that were kind of conditions when he came on.
I want to start the Jared O'Connor Appreciation Society.
Definitely
He needs
all
his
need one
badge.
now, don't we? Yeah, needs his badge.
I feel
I
like
love
we
how
need a different name though. I feel like we can't have Appreciation Society for everyone.
Jack
We've got
off.
to keep it flexible. Like we've got the Church of Faith for Rowan. We need to start thinking about other ways to word Appreciation Society. But Bentley for me was man of the match to the extent that I even considered shaving my beard to a mustache. That's in honor of Bentley. But I've got some very serious meetings at work this week, which probably wouldn't go down very well if I did that. So I might leave it.
Well, you can
do it on Friday night.
Friday night.
On Friday night, see what Old Trafford with a tap.
Yeah.
Give Bentley the man of the match, but I think I'd give O'Connor the man of the playoff series so far.
Man of the year.
In fact, O'Connor does deserve the man of the match for one reason only.
He came on the pod.
His performance. Sorry, two reasons other than his performance. One, he came on the pod. Two, at the end when he was doing his interview with his dad, Jenna Brooks was asking his dad about, do you think we've got a chance to win? And they're talking about Leeds' chances. And all you can see in Jared at the corner is just nodding his head like this, going, yeah. We can.
We're going to win it.
Yeah, we're going to win it.
The belief, so that's the other reason why Jared would deserve it.
So we've been planning our trip to Old Trafford for ages, Reese. Jesus Christ.
You started a podcast. I need to find out which one it was.
Pods and pods ago, we were talking about our Old Trafford
You were talking about picking me up on the way to Old Trafford.
Ages ago.
As a bit of a joke, delusion, whatever, what turned out to be reality.
From then, we kind of said, right, once we got our Old Trafford plans in place, we kind of moved on to Penrith, didn't we? Like we're fairly certain that game's going to be at Ellen Road. So that's kind of 95% sorted that out. I think we've now to look at the Challenge Cup final. That's the next big one, really, isn't it? So shall we start off air?
I'll get on the train at Skipton. You get on the train at Leeds. Sorted. There we go.
Yeah. All right, we'll look forward to the league leaders and then the
treble next.
For those that haven't,
exactly, Josh, exactly.
The tickets are out now. If you didn't do the IF form, you can also get your travel as well. So I'm getting the bus. I don't know. Are you get the train, aren't you, Lottie?
No, I'm driving now.
You're driving now.
Yeah, I'm driving now.
Josh, are you kids bound? Or are you making a trip
BBC.
across?
We drove last time. My dad drove us, so I think we'd probably end up going. Yeah,
of course you will. Get your son over.
Yeah.
Did you get an East stand, Reese?
Yeah, I'm behind the posts. I got category 4. Category 4 apparently is now limited, but it keeps changing. Like at one point it was sold out, then it was excellent, then it was very good, then it was sold out again earlier. Now it's limited. But get your tickets.
It'll go on general sale.
Get it done. Buy them.
Get it tomorrow.
Be part of it because it's going to be brilliant.
Everyone will be going anyway, won't they?
Just do it.
Everyone will be going.
General admissions tomorrow. Just buy your tickets. Just
yes, members today. That's right.
Members today.
That to me doesn't make any sense at all because you can just go on the RFL website and buy them.
You can't. You can only buy certain areas. You can't buy.
You can still buy them though.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
if you're not that bothered, you know what I mean.
But don't matter. Everyone's going to come. Are we doing a lot pod meetup beforehand?
We are, but we just don't know where yet.
Okay.
In that, it'll be around one of the shithole pubs around that dump. We just haven't decided which one yet. I suppose it doesn't matter really, does it? We can just we should just choose one and tweet it out and say, right, we're going to be here. Everybody, if you want to come here.
I love the flag.
And I'm just about to say, it's my turn. I'll take the flag. Take this. But nice to see everyone in person, won't it? And kind of get to see, because all I kind of see is an email or a DM. It's not been nice to see people in person. I have got the Roland Smith badges coming. I thought they were going to come today, but they aren't yet. So we'll be selling them online. That's an exclusive for the people listening now. We'll be flogging those Roland Smith badges. People are still asking me for the Cam Smith badges. They're finished, I'm afraid. They're gone. That's an exclusive membership. There's no more left. They are done.
That's actually a bit of a lie.
Is it?
Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here.
Are you taking them to the grand final, Reese?
Yeah, I'll take them to the grand final. Mate.
Reece is taking them to the grand final and he's selling them for £20 each. If anybody wants to steal it,
We'll be going on eBay.
Or a pint. Or a pint, whichever is more more expensive.
Speaking of eBay, you've just reminded me, Josh. Speaking of eBay, bit of a tangent here. Someone emailed me this week. It's not this week, this week, saying that the lot, an issue, a copy of the Lot 17A fanzine was on eBay for £50. I couldn't find it on eBay. Someone emailed me saying it's on eBay for £50, and I was going to try and get in touch with them and say, take it down, you stupid idiot. But I couldn't find it. Please, if anyone listening to this, don't buy the fanzine for £50. It's worth £50, but don't.
The fanzine is mint, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely class.
Thank you very much. It was
really good.
All ACDB designed it, and then everything else were just people's kind contributions. And off the back of that, I think people now physically holding it and reading it and seeing the quality. I have had loads of people saying they want to get involved. And, there it is. Reece is
it is like the square ball. It is. It's good. It's really good.
That's the inspiration. We are hoping to be. If we can get anywhere near as good as the square ball, then I think we're doing something right. As good as the quality that they kind of provide out there. Shall we briefly kind of wrap this up in talking about the other semi-final?
Yeah, I think so.
Salford Saints.
Bit gutted for Salford. I wanted Salford to go through. Yeah. Obviously, everyone's going to be talking about Chris Kendall.
They should be talking.
In particular, the penalty try issue.
That was a penalty try.
Which was a shocking call, to be fair. They should have bans. There is no way Morgan Knowles should be playing next week for consistency. There's arguments about Wellesby. There's arguments about Makinson.
There's an argument as well
Wellesby should be playing for that.
Who touched the injured player?
Oh no, that's
Matautia. Well. Is it one rule or does it change in playoff football?
He didn't touch him in a way that I would consider as a ban at all. But my benchmark for the Wellesby one is it annoys me because it's
what about
great
Reece?
hit.
Reece Martin, that's the benchmark.
Yeah, well, this is my point. This is exactly the point I'm getting to. It's exactly the point I'm getting to. What was really good I thought about that game, especially at the half, a lot of the tackles were borderline in today's rugby. That's what rugby league used to be like. It was a good physical start to the game, and it was a good watch. That Wellesby hit was a cracking hit. It was absolutely telegraphed. Before that ball was passed to him, I was like, please don't pass it to him, because you could see Wellesby was completely lining him up.
Coming through,
but it was a great hit. But by today's standards, Martin getting banned for what he got banned for, that's what we're going to base it off. And that's why the match review panel should go in completely, in my opinion, because it ruins the game. But this is my real. I really hope they don't bottle just because it's the grand final.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So the HIA thing. It's 10. Is it 10 days? 11 days over here.
11 days. Yeah,
11 days. Yeah.
It's in the NRL. I think it's only a week. So Brodie Croft would have played for Salford today if it was in the NRL. And I saw the NRL physio tweeting about Caesar, saying that there's two different protocols or something. So him saying, yeah, I passed it, could just be the club one, but because he failed it, he failed the initial one or something, he might still be out. I don't know anything other than just what the NRL physio was saying. I cannot see
Aiden Caesar playing the grand final.
Yeah. And if that was the case, what I wanted to ask was, would you have Leeming at 7 and would you have Leeming at 7, or would you put Myler there and put Zach at 1? What would you do? Or did you just say?
Because then you put in Martin at. It's quite a shuffle round if you do that, because if you're pushing Hardacre to full back and Myler up, then you're probably putting Martin at centre.
Yeah.
Then Gannon back in at second row.
Yeah.
Set Ivan. Then where do you
put Martin has played a lot of that.
Martin has played centre a few times this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been good.
He has.
How much has Leeming played half this year?
Yeah, that's
I feel
true.
like it's simpler just to put Leeming in there.
Just put Liam in there. Yeah. I don't know.
But
yeah, we'll wait and see on Caesar, won't we?
I can't. I don't know how you two feel, but I cannot see all people listening. Sorry, but I cannot see Aidan Caesar playing that grand final.
This bit of his eye had swollen right up straight away, hadn't it? I don't know if you saw
this
that.
had gone, and it was like I think it was Reese who said it before we came on. It was something like in the concussion protocols. It's like you just said it there as well, Josh. It's like the club can kind of do their bit, but if a doctor's said, "Oh, you failed 1 point," from a doctor, whatever the protocols are, then you're done. And to me, the proof's in the pudding. It is. If he'd have come back on, he didn't come back on, did he? So there must have been something there to say you failed it. You're done. To me, that's how I saw it. Anyway, I hope I'm wrong, but then again, it's like
we're finding ways to win, aren't we? That's the thing.
Well, that's it. We've got Reece Martin back. We've got Gannon back. We've got the awful news about Harry missing. We haven't spoke about that, have we? Got announced today. Harry is missing the grand final. He's missing the whole World Cup. He's not going to be back till 2023. I'm devastated for him. Not so much for the grand final.
Just feels like a repeated story for Newman, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the same again. Same from last year.
We've got this a bit of a pattern with like playing lads young and then becoming injury prone. Like, do you think of Stevie Ward, Newman, Jack Walker, Callum Watkins had a lot of injuries early on. It makes me worry about players like Gannon getting too much game time. I mean, I think he's mint, and I think it deserves to be there. But I don't know. It seems to happen with our club. You can probably list 4 or 5. Ashton Golding, I know he didn't last that long, but he's riddled with injuries.
Yeah.
Coming through young. I don't know what that is.
No, I don't know, but I'm hoping that. Well, Newman will definitely come back a better player. You remember him returning Warrington at home last year?
Yeah, that was
throwing straight in. Jesus Christ, he was like a man possessed, wasn't he? He scored. He definitely scored a try. I think he scored a try at season for us. But Matt scored 2. We're like, wow.
It was that one where he just drove through, just like determination got him there.
Just stepping, just pumping his legs and winning. And he seems to be the type of character who, when he does have a setback, is like, "This is I'm not resting on my laurels. I'm gonna really put the effort in and come back even better than before." Like, kind of just watching his rehab from the club on like TikTok and Instagram and things from his previous injury, it was like he was determined to be like, "I'm going to come back and show everyone I'm better than ever, and I'm not going to let these setbacks kind of, like Josh said there, try and take over my career." So I'm not going to. I'm not happy being injured. I don't want to be injured anymore. So that's just the feeling I get. But I was kind of devastated for him about the World Cup, really, more than all, because
it doesn't happen often, does it?
No,
at home on English soil.
I
think he'd have played as well. He's absolutely.
He'd have played, absolutely. They've got a game, but I've said this before. I'm not particularly bothered about England, any international England football, rugby league. I'm not. Leeds means a million times more to me. But when a Leeds player plays, whether it's football or rugby league, and that throws my interest up, because I'm like, right, we're doing it now because we've got Callum Watkins or Rob Burrow ever playing. So Harry playing would have spiked my interest in that. So I'm a bit gutted in that sense. But in terms of the grand final, I think, going back to your original point, I'd kind of keep the team as close in terms of positional where we've been last few games, really, because it seems to be a winning formula. And you can always change it in game as well, can't you? You can have a reshuffle and put Zach at fullback or put Richie in there. I'm sure Rowan will do that, but I'd kind of stick with what we've got at the minute and see where we're at from there. I think we'll win anyway, but that's just real. That's just factual. It's not delusion anymore.
It's not delusion anymore.
How many of these? How many players in our squad have played in a grand final?
Richie Myler,
Zach, Briscoe,
Zane Petavano, Matt Pryor.
Depends which grand finals you're talking about. Super League.
Caesar played in that one. The Raiders lost.
In Super League, we've only got.
In Super League, you've got Liam Sutcliffe,
Zach and
Bentley
Myler.
with St Helens.
Oh, Bentley.
Milo
Briscoe.
Oh, Briscoe. What am I talking about? Tom Briscoe.
Zach, obviously. In an other experience, you've got Caesar, Blake,
Tavano.
Pryor. Has Blake Costin played in one? I don't think.
26. No. Austin
hasn't. Sorry.
I don't think he has. No.
But a lot of them are also involved in the Challenge Cup final.
True.
That's true. Got a Challenge Cup
weird final, wasn't it? No fans and stuff.
It was. Awesome. Anything else to add?
Club wise.
Oh my God.
Can't miss this. The wheelchair team won 54-10.
16?
Club?
54-14.
14? Yeah.
Which now means every single Rhinos team, men's, women's, PDRL, wheelchair, academy, have been in their grand final. Obviously, the PDRL have won their grand final. The women play tomorrow at 3:00.
Yeah, they do.
On Sky. So if you're not going, make sure you watch and give them your support. But yeah, what a club!
What a club!
It's amazing. We had Simon Brown from the PDRL on last week. Tuesday. If you haven't listened to that podcast or watched it, I implore you to, because Si's story is absolutely fascinating. It really is.
You'll never think of Wednesdays the same ever again.
It's a little link into it. Go watch it. Go listen to it. I mean, the club, we always speak to them, don't we, Reece, and kind of say, in them being women's side, PDRL, wheelchair side, do you feel under the hood as a family for the Rhinos? And they all say that they do. And leading the way, we kind of said on Radio Leeds, didn't we, Reece, that regardless, we knew we were going to win. The men were going to win, but regardless, we've not had it bad, have we? This year
No.
And the men have been playing
we have, but then we turned it around, so, you know.
The men were playing catch-up. Every other team was leading the way, and the men were being left behind.
Said on this podcast, we need to catch up with the other Rhinos teams that are leading the way. So the wheelchair side are now in the grand final.
Yeah, they've got to play Halifax, I believe. I was speaking to Ewan earlier. So I think we know from the past that Halifax are quite... Oh, no, they don't know yet. They'll find out tomorrow, but he's suspecting it will be Halifax as they've flown 2 Catalan players over again, apparently.
But
Halifax are quite strong, but doesn't matter. They're in the grand final. I think their grand final's on the 1st of October. He said to me something like that.
Yeah. Ewan's going to come back on the podcast as well to build up to the World Cup. We're just going to do a special with Ewan and kind of go through him with his teammates and all the usual lot pod. We're going to do a special with Ewan. We've got Danny Maguire on Thursday as we record this at 7:30. Perfect booking again, Reece. We had the PDRL. We booked Si Brown. The PDRL side won the grand final.
Oh.
We booked Sophie Robinson.
He won before he came on, but we will take credit because we booked him.
Yeah, what you did. We booked Sophie Robinson. She scored 2 tries and Leeds got to the grand final. And now we've got Mr. Grand Final himself coming on, Danny, to preview Leeds in a grand. The booking there is just unbelievable. The timings. We've also got Chev Walker and Danny Ward coming on.
Oh,
We're not sure when, but those two have agreed to come on with us as well. And we're also working on other guests. Oh, and also for the World Cup podcast, to preview the whole World Cup, we've got Mark Wilson and Kyle Amor both joining us to preview all the World Cup, to kind of look at races.
You didn't tell me that. Have you texted me that today?
I found that out on air. You might have seen me disappear about half an hour ago. I just went like that. That's when I found out that Mark Wilson and Kyle
I like
Amor
Mark Wilson. He talks a lot of sense. He used to do the 40-20 Live podcast, and he was good on that.
Who's got them on?
Andrew, Stats.
Has he?
Stats, good work. Yeah. Thanks again, Andrew. Yeah, he's got them both on. We had Mark Wilson on. He's dragging Kyle Amor along. So that'll be good because they'll be...
Yeah.
Do Channel 4 have any World Cup coverage? I don't know.
No, I don't think they will.
No. You can talk to him more about the grand final.
Yeah.
After we've won it.
Leeds beat them. Is that everything, chaps?
Yeah, absolutely everything.
Brilliant. We'll be back to review. Well, we've got the mailbag coming up, but we'll be back to review the grand final win. No, we'll be back with Danny Maguire first and then back to review the grand final win. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, everybody, for joining in on the comments. And, we'll see you on the next Lot Pod. Thanks a lot. Speak soon.